So, what if a journey to the center of the Earth wasn't just some fantastical story, but a real scientific mission, one that was just waiting for a map? Today, we're driving into Jules Verne's absolute classic, but we're treating it like a thought experiment, an exploration of the ultimate adventure. And it all kicks off with a single, incredibly mysterious piece of old parchment. Our story doesn't start with some grand hero. It starts with this. A cryptic set of instructions from a 16th century Icelandic alchemist named Arn Saknussemm. And these words right here, they're the ones that launched the most impossible, most dangerous expedition ever conceived. The people who actually find this message are, well, quite the pair. You've got the brilliant but unbelievably impatient Professor Hardwick, a guy whose scientific curiosity is always a few steps ahead of his common sense. And then there's his much more careful nephew, Harry. For these two, this old parchment isn't just a neat historical artifact, it's a direct challenge to everything they think they know about the world. Now, the puzzle itself is fascinating. It's a runic cryptograph, and Professor Hardwick is so completely convinced that it holds some world-changing secret that he literally locks himself and poor Harry in his study. He declares, "Until I discover the meaning of this sentence, I will neither eat nor sleep." Talk about dedication, right? So, trying to crack this thing is a frantic, obsessive process. Hardwig, being a genius, quickly figures out the language is Latin, and he starts analyzing letter frequency, classic code-breaking stuff. But he hits a wall. The letters are a total jumble, and the solution, it doesn't come from some brilliant deduction. It comes from pure, dumb luck. Harry, totally frustrated, is fanning himself with the parchment when he just happens to catch a glimpse of the text in reverse, and that's it. That's the secret. You have to read it backwards. Once that riddle is solved, there is absolutely no stopping the professor. They practically race to Iceland, to the extinct Sneffels volcano, the exact gateway Saknussemm mentioned. And it's here they meet their guide, Hans, an Icelandic local who is completely unflappable. He barely speaks, but he is incredibly skilled. The three of them, this unlikely trio, are about to descend into the great unknown. And just look at the gear they brought. This tells you everything. This isn't some fantasy quest with magic swords. No, this is a serious 19th century scientific expedition. They've got tools for every geological problem they can imagine, state-of-the-art lighting for the era, and enough food and water to last for half a year in a world nobody has ever laid eyes on before. Can you just imagine that moment, standing on the edge of the world, literally? Harry's words here perfectly capture that mix of pure awe and absolute terror as he stares down into this abyss that just seems to have no bottom. This is the path to the very core of the Earth. The first part of the descent isn't some dramatic, sudden plunge. It's slow. It's methodical. It's this long, spiraling journey into total, crushing darkness. They rappel deeper and deeper, and the only light they have is from their lamps, just glinting off these ancient, slick rock formations that have never, ever seen the sun. Just 4 days in, they've already gone down 2 vertical miles. That's deeper than any human had ever gone before. The pressure is building, and I don't just mean the air pressure, the psychological toll of being so completely cut off from the world above. Well, they're truly in a realm where humankind was never meant to be. And then, disaster strikes. They hit their first major crisis. Miles underground, surrounded by nothing but rock, their most vital resource, their water, is almost gone. All that scientific gear, all that planning, it means nothing if they die of thirst. The journey is on the brink of ending in failure. After a really desperate search, their guide, Hans, the hero of the moment, actually finds a hidden subterranean river and it saves them. But their ordeal isn't over. They follow this underground stream for weeks and they end up getting horribly lost in a maze of tunnels. After 47 long days underground, exhausted, starving, almost ready to give up, they break through a wall of rock and find something completely and utterly unimaginable. I mean, just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. They've dealt with near starvation, claustrophobia, the psychological horror of being lost forever in the dark. What on earth could possibly make all of that hardship worthwhile? This is what was waiting. A cavern so colossal it holds an entire ocean, stretching out beyond the horizon. And the craziest part? It isn't dark. The whole massive space is lit up by this strange, ethereal electrical glow coming from a cloud-like vapor high above them. It's a sky inside the Earth. And this isn't some empty cavern. Oh, no. It is a complete, perfectly preserved, prehistoric ecosystem. They find forests of giant mushrooms, some of them 40 feet tall. They build a raft out of fossilized wood, a relic from an age long past. They even catch fish, but these are fish that have lived in darkness for so long, evolution has made them completely blind. It's a lost world. So they're sailing across this impossible ocean on their little fossil raft, and they quickly figure out that those blind fish are not the only things living in this water. The eerie quiet is suddenly shattered by something huge moving beneath the surface. They are definitely not alone. And we're not talking about big fish here. We are talking about living, breathing marine reptiles straight out of the Jurassic period. On one side, a 100-foot-long ichthyosaurus, a true fish lizard with the jaws of a whale. And on the other, the equally terrifying plesiosaurus, a long-necked sea serpent. Living fossils. An absolutely epic battle just erupts from the depths right next to their tiny raft. The water turns into this violent, churning chaos as these two prehistoric titans go at it, and our explorers are trapped right in the middle of it all, just helpless spectators to a war from another age. I mean, this is nature at its most raw and brutal. You can just picture it, the plesiosaurus with that long snake-like neck, twisting and writhing, trying to escape, its tail just whipping the sea into a bloody froth. Well, in the end, there's a clear winner. The ichthyosaurus proves it's the true apex predator of this lost world. It's a terrifying and honestly a humbling moment for our explorers, a stark reminder of the incredible raw power of the world they've stumbled into. After surviving the sea monster battle, the journey goes on. They explore islands, they find more clues left behind by Saknussemm, until their path is blocked by a huge rockfall. Now, a normal person would turn back, not Professor Hardwick. Their solution? Blast their way through with gunpowder. It's an act of pure desperation, and it triggers a chain reaction that is absolutely catastrophic. The explosion rips a hole in the seabed. The entire Central Sea starts pouring into this new chasm, and it takes their raft with it. They get swept into a vertical volcanic shaft. The water around them literally starts to boil, the temperature goes through the roof, and they realize they're not exploring anymore. They are rocketing upwards, riding an active volcanic eruption all the way back to the surface. The difference here is just staggering. Think about it. Their journey down was this slow, careful, scientific process that took them weeks and weeks. But the journey back up? It's the complete opposite. A violent, totally uncontrollable ejection that covers the exact same distance in just a matter of hours. I mean, the sheer scale of what they accomplished is almost unbelievable. They went down into a volcano in Iceland, and they were shot out of another one, Stromboli in Italy, thousands of miles from where they started. They come back to the surface world, battered, bruised, completely disoriented, but with undeniable, irrefutable proof that Arne Saknussemm was right all along. Their journey proved that what everyone thought was impossible was, in fact, possible. And it's just this powerful reminder that the true spirit of exploration is about questioning the limits of our world. It really leaves you with a final lingering thought. Even now, with all our technology, what other impossible worlds might still be out there, hidden, not up in the stars, but right here, just waiting to be discovered, beneath our own feet?